Right, we are finished. I got rid of the wheel issue. I didn't actually. I just put it on the spare. Cheating a little bit, but I can't. Um, I haven't got the time to go to the tyre centre and get it balanced. So, got that wheel there. That's now, that was the spare. It's now on the car front, and I've just been out for a good run. Runs beautifully, really does. I'm well chuffed with it. It's the absolute business. So it's been waxed, it's been polished, it's been cleaned, it's been hoovered, it's been nursed and nurtured, and everything is absolutely spot on with it now. So I'm taking it up to Leominster tomorrow to the Brightwells Centre for the 4x4 and car auction, which is taking place on the 4th of September. And it will be going up there for that. And I hope I'm not going to see it again, which fills me with a tinge of sadness, but you know, I have to move on to the next one. Yes. So, it's sold. I'm not impressed, but it's sold. Current climate, I'm pleased it's sold. New owner's got a bargain. So basically, the auction house has been working after the auction, and the car got to 23,000 on auction day, which is just, the car's worth more in spare parts. I'd rather take it apart with a fucking axe than sell it for 23,000. But anyway, my emotions settled. Let's see, and after the auction, I spoke to the auction manager, one of the associates from the auction house, Brightwells. They're very, very good, those guys, I tell you. And I know they're salesmen. Anyway, they're very, very good. But no real feedback, but no real bidders either, which is strange because when I was there was a fairly steady stream of people pouring over the car, looking at it, opening the doors, opening the bonnet, starting it up, doing this, that, and the other. So, I don't know. Anyway, I was there. Like I say, I was there. I was watching the auction, and it struck me that pretty much everything that was usable and not crazy, thirsty, whatever, below 10 grand was selling, and selling really, really, really well. Things were selling above their lower estimate, and a couple of occasions into their upper estimate. But the cars that were doing that were typically usable low-end classics, the guys that are sitting around the 10 grand mark. Anything that really went above the 10 grand mark and was slightly below the, let's say, 75 mark. I thought it was the 800 mark, but it pretty much, between 10 and 75,000 pounds was a grey area where nothing that I've been able to find yet actually hit its lower estimate. And there's a few reasons I think why this has happened. And these are my opinion, so don't shoot me down and shit like that, because, I don't need shooting down right now. I'm already fucking down, innit? But, I've got £25,500 in my pocket, well, my dad has, anyway. But the thing is, and you might say, that's a shitload of money for a Range Rover, but there's £20,000 worth of fucking stuff went in that car, and 1,000 hours. So 25.5 grand for that car. Okay, there's a buyer's premium on top of that, so I think it was 27 30 quid or something, whatever it was. £27,000 for that car is a right proper fucking bargain that someone's had. And hats off to them. Good luck to them. I hope they enjoy the car. It's a nice car. I've really enjoyed driving it. I've enjoyed building it. I've enjoyed every part of that project apart from selling it. And selling it has proven to be a bit of a ball's ache. So my original plan after the auction was really to not talk myself like I did after the Silverstone auction. No, seriously, after the Silverstone auction, I was devastated. My missus had to drag me back from that one. After this one, I was kind of a little bit prepared because I could see the way the auction was going. And when it got to 23,000, it was like, oh, for fuck's sake. What is wrong with people? What's wrong with the market? And then I thought, maybe it's the market. So there's a couple of factors I think have impacted the market. There is, well, we can go for the obvious one, Brexit. What a fuck up that is. Now, I voted Remain. My wife voted Exit. So we're right on the fence, us lot. And it's just been an utter clusterfuck. We've got a load of elected people who've never worked an honest day's wage in their entire fucking lives are ballsing the country up. That's my opinion. It is my opinion. So don't shoot me down on it. We live in a democracy. We're allowed to have our own opinions. I voted, and I voted to Remain. The democratic, whatever it was, fucking referendum came back and said, we're going to leave. So do you know what? I thought, even though I voted to Remain, I'm going to support that because I'm a grown-up. Well, do you know what? It seems like most of the fucking MPs are not grown up. Again, my opinion. I'll stop going on about it because it's get too political and I can rant for hours about fucking Brexit. Anyway, I think that there is a lot of nervousness amongst buyers. There are people that are prepared to spend a certain amount, up to 10 grand, because that's pocket money for some people, I guess. Not me. But anyway, there's people that are prepared to bid up to 10 grand on a car. But when it comes to toys, what I mean by toys is it's a thirsty car. It's a car that couldn't be used on a daily basis. So a 1972 Range Rover would fit into that bill because, let's face it, it does 13 miles to the gallon. 19 on a run if you're careful. It's not a practical daily driver. So when it comes to cars like that, you've got a buyer's market that are thinking, I don't know what's going to happen with our fucking government or our fucking opposition or the fucking EU. We're getting political again. I'm going to back down. My opinions. I do apologise to those who... No, I don't apologise to those that are offended. Please let me know your name and address so I can keep you in mind when I want to offend you again. Anyway, the thing is that people, buyers, are a little bit nervous about the climate that is occurring right now. Do they need to prepare for a recession? Are we going to go into another recession? Is it going to be a recession like it was in 1991, which I remember? That was catastrophic, a bad recession. Is it going to be like the 1970s? I remember those as well. They were fucking awful too. Or will we get through it? People don't know. We listen to the press. Okay, the BBC is about as unbiased as you can possibly get for someone that you have to... someone you're forced to pay to watch. Even if you don't want to watch BBC, you're forced to pay your TV licence in this country. But they're very, 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 in my humble opinion, very, 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 infinity Labour. And they are very, very, a million times, so I won't bore you, Remain. And they don't like the fact that the public voted to exit. So, there we are. I don't know where we are with Brexit. No one knows where we are with Brexit. Brexit is a complete nutter clusterfuck. So that's one possible contributing factor as to why the market has settled. There is another factor. The second factor is Jaguar Land Rover. Now, Jaguar Land Rover, bless their cotton socks, raise the Union flag. Here we go. We're going to get a bit of Elgar going on in the old CD player. They're as British as they can possibly get, owned by an Indian company. But they're as British as you can possibly get. Now, they've invested heavily in diesel power plants for their for their millions of different options of cars that they've got through the Land Rover range. I think there used to be three. There was a short wheelbase, long wheelbase Land Rover and a Range Rover. Now there's about 95, mainly aimed at school mums, my opinion. And because of that, and because of their heavy reliance on diesel and diesel traction power and what they've done with diesel and so forth, it's marvellous what they've done. It's fantastic. I mean, brilliant. But then a year and a half ago, the British government said, diesel? No, we don't want diesels in our cities. We're going to ban them from our cities. Well, do you know what the net effect of that was? Jaguar Land Rover made a 3.6 billion loss last year. And so because of that, I don't think they're closing Reborn down. Again, my opinion, I don't think they're closing it down, but there's an incredible number of vehicles that are appearing unrestored on the marketplace from anonymous sources that might appear to have been on the racks at the Jaguar Land Rover Reborn programme. So it's quite possible that they are shedding some weight. Net effect of this is that nearly 5 years ago, the Land Rover and Range Rover market was boosted massively by Jaguar Land Rover going out there and spending £5,000 on the biggest piece of shit you've ever seen in your life. And everyone suddenly thinks, oh, I've got an A Suffix Range Rover that's not worth fuck all. I'll see if I can flog it to them. Or advertise it on eBay at £11 million. So the market was boosted. And then in the last 6, maybe 7 months, they've been dumping this crap wholesale back onto the market. And it ain't got any better. It's not been touched. It's just been moved. And it's depressed the market. But the interesting thing is, there was a few cars at the Brightwells auction. There was 4 cars there, 4 Range Rovers. And I think, and I stand corrected on this, that they all sold for over £2,000 a piece as wrecks, and they were properly hanging wrecks, real hanging wrecks. 2 I looked at needed new chassis. All of them needed every single piece of metalwork below the waistline, the window line, replacing. I don't know about the mechanicals on them, but I suspect they've not been used in the best part of 20 years. So the mechanicals will need thoroughly overhauling. Now, I can tell you that that's going to cost you the best part of £20,000 in bits and 1,000 hours in labour. So for those cars to flog for £2,000, what's happening? I don't understand. I really don't understand why someone will spend £2,000 on a car that's going to need that much effort to restore a hanging wreck back to a running MOT'd viable vehicle. Bizarre, isn't it? It really, it just... And it goes back to my first point. Really, it reinforces my first point that buyers are happy to spend money, but not on things that are frivolous. Frivolity, is that a word? Frivolity is not allowed. And maybe that's it. So we've got the Brexit situation, we've got the Jaguar Land Rover situation. And then, of course, well, there is the third option. The market's crashed. Not seeing it. Honestly, I'm not seeing it. This auction, Brightwells did a fantastic job, and I've got a lot of the results and so forth. I do like them. They're nice guys. I like Silverstone too. They're nice guys. Neither of these things are to do with the auction. There's nothing here whatsoever to do with the auction houses. We're talking about the marketplace. So, looking at the results of this, I can see that certain cars are going up in value. There was a very tidy there was a very untidy SP250 Daimler Dart. It was shonky. Paintwork, honestly, it was original. all the gel coat had grazed. It obviously had not been started. It's not been run in a decade. And it went for top money, really top money. There was a couple of other projects as well, proper projects that went for really good money, strong money. Patina restorations were down, so I think we've already understood the issue with patina restorations. Patina restorations are one of those things that everyone says, oh, fantastic, you kept the original paint on it. Yeah, I kept the original paint on it. Oh, really? Well, fantastic, I'll give you £2,000 for it. Well, it's worth 30. No, not to me, it's not. I'll give you 2. So people love patina restorations. They love the history behind them, but they ain't prepared to dip into their pockets for them. So patina restorations is a very, very much personal objective. It's a personal thing. If you want to restore your own personal car and hang on to it and do it with a patina restoration, brilliant. I take my hat off to you. I salute you, sir or madam. Or madam, I'll put that differently, because that wasn't meant to be a slur on ladies that restore cars in any way whatsoever. That's just, oh, fuck's sake, I'm just digging a hole, aren't I? Anyway, patina restorations for your own uses. Hang on a minute. Patina restorations for your own uses, I salute you, sir or madam. Just, you guys are living the dream. You're living my dream. However, when it comes to a restoration you want to sell on, now comes the tricky bit. Because you've got the market of the Generation X community, people that are born 60s, 70s, maybe even 80s, I don't know what Generation X is, it's all a load of bollocks. Those people quite happy to lift a bonnet to check more than the washer fluid. They're quite happy to lift the bonnet to say, oh, the oil might be low, or there's an oil drip under the car, I better investigate. You get the later generations, I don't know all of the terms, but I know millennials who were working when the year 2000 occurred, and post-millennials, my sons. Bless you, chaps. And basically those sort of those folk, not those sort of folks, I'm not judgmental in any way whatsoever, but those people justifiably want a classic car that drives like their Audi A4 or their BMW fucking 1 Series piece of crap, my personal opinion. And they don't want to lift the bonnet. They expect that when they take it for a service every 3 months, that, the garage fills the washer bottle up for them and they never have to do anything other than jump in it, start it and run with it, and it goes. So that's the other half of the classic car buyer at the moment. Now, those guys are not going to be interested in classic Range Rovers, however cool they might look. And they do look cool, in my humble opinion. So the market is kind of split. We've got people with money in their pockets, ain't spending it because of the political turmoil that the country finds itself in right now. And then we've got the issue around people that expect an Audi A4 or champagne for their beer money. And one of the bits of feedback I had on this particular car was that the paintwork was shabby again. I don't know what to do about this. The next one's going to be a fucking patina restoration. I'm going to save my $4,500 on paint and $3,000 on panels. So that's nearly $8,500 went into that car on body and paint. And I'm going to save all that, and I'm just going to send a right old shonky piece of crap out there. This mechanically beautiful interior is perfect. And then someone could say to me, the paintwork's a little bit iffy. Well, do you know what, chap? It's priced accordingly. Off you go and sort the paintwork out to your own bloody design. Anyway, it's sold. I'm a little bit irritated. No, I'm a lot irritated, but I'm a little bit irritated with you guys. Not with you guys. A little bit irritated while I'm talking to you guys. Purely because I know that car is a 35 to 40,000 pound car all fucking day long, and I've just taken 25 for it. And this is a business. I need to survive. I've got to feed my starving post-millennial children. My wife demands a holiday, which I don't go on. I let her enjoy her holidays. I don't go there. Why would I want to go on a holiday with my wife? Well, I would, but I want her to enjoy them, so I don't go. Anyway, enough ranting. This hasn't been a rant. Phil knows what a rant is, don't you, Phil? No, it was. Sorry, Phil. It wasn't meant as a rant at you. But we are where we are. So I have money in my pocket to move forwards now with various other projects. Well, my dad has money in his pockets to pay me back for the work I've done in his car. So my dad's paid £20,000 in bits, and I've put 1,000 hours in labour. So my dad's going to give me £5,000, which I need to then charge VAT on. So I should get in the region of about 4,000 something pounds back for 1,000 hours labour. That's pretty impressive. I mean, £4 an hour is really good. I should actually write to Boris Johnson and say £4 an hour should be the minimum wage. Anyway, it's a bit of a downer at the end of this series. It's not really a bit of a downer, because the car is fantastic. I've loved every minute of building it and driving it. And like I said, it's only selling it that's caused the problem. And I think there's a number of factions that have caused that reduction in my expectations at the tail end. So I think it's that's... But I love doing it. And I'll do another one. Good, because I've got another 5. I'll do another one. I don't have to now shift red shed because I got cash, because I sold a car. I might still shift red shed, but because the anniversary of Range Rover Classic is 50 next June. 50! Can you believe that? 50! Shit, I'm only 52. Next June I'll be 53. Okay, moving on. I don't give a shit how old I am, to be honest. I'll do another one. In the meantime, however, I want to do things like series Land Rovers. I might pick up a Moggy Traveller. I might pick up something other nice, straightforward, usable classic car that I can turn around and make maybe a couple of grand profit on. That covers my labour when I'm doing these kind of things. If you've got things you want doing, contact me. I'm reasonably reliable. I don't always drink. I'm only drinking. It's Friday night. I'm crying out loud. It's 20 past 8 on a Friday night and I'm doing these videos. And the wife's off in, the wife's in Croatia. She's having a lovely holiday with my sons. And I wouldn't deny a second of it. My boys have worked hard for their exams. My wife's worked hard bringing them up. But they're all adults now. Poor wife is going to get an empty nest very, very soon, like the end of September. So just want her to enjoy every minute of them boys. But thanks for watching this. I hope you got to the end of this. This video is not sponsored by Old Speckled Hen, fine crafted ale from the Moorland Brewery, 5%, rich and distinctive. It is sponsored by churchhouseclassics.co.uk, and that's me. And I'm looking forwards now to moving forwards in this marketplace. I'm looking forwards to less uncertainty in our country. I'm looking forwards to a unity within the union. I'm looking forward to lots of things. I'm looking forward to lots of fun, a bright and positive future. How we get past Brexit, I don't know. I'm not a politician. I don't lie. That was my opinion again, sorry. By the way, all you students can have your debts written off. Anyway, thanks for watching, etc.